Last week, I received my early ballot for the presidential preference election here in Arizona. Currently, the red team has 4 candidates: Marco Rubio, Ted Cruz, John Kasich, and Donald Trump. Team blue has 2 candidates, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton. If I were a betting woman, I would say that a month from now, the race will narrow to 4 candidates. At the end of July, we'll be down to 2, and we will finally pick a president on November 8th. With all of the media attention directed at the presidential campaign, many investors are concerned about investing in the stock market this year. Are those concerns warranted? In the last month, I actually received 2 ballots in the mail. The second ballot was for City of Tempe elections. This small election brought me back to another tiny election several years ago. It was early fall. The weather was starting to change as I drove to the polling place before heading to work. I turned on the radio. The DJs were saying something about a disaster in New York at the World Trade Center. I was confused. When I arrived at the polling place, there was a small TV showing the billowing smoke from the Twin Towers. I voted, but right now I can't recall what I was voting for. America was in crisis. The entire country was immersed in a wave of shock, horror, fear, and grief. It became a part of our national memory. Like the attack on Pearl Harbor and the assassination of JFK, we will always remember where we were and what we were doing when we found out about the 9/11 attacks. America stopped. Flights were grounded, and so was the stock market. On September 10th, 2001, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 9,605 points. When the market reopened on September 17th, it hit an intraday low of 8,755 points. The short-term effects were disastrous. However, within 2 months, just 2 months, the market had recovered to pre-disaster levels. So what does that tell us? That the biggest disaster in the past generation was only a blip on the radar for investments? Well, guess what? The same holds true for presidential elections. There have been many academic studies about how presidential elections affect the stock market, and most of them suggest that the election of the most powerful person in the world has little to no impact on the U.S. stock market. So what does affect the stock market? There's always market noise, which can make you crazy watching it day in and day out. But in the end, Americans determine the fate of American business. Our economy is driven by the innovation of scientists in the lab and engineers at their computers. It grows as we educate children in classrooms throughout America. It's manifest in the grocery aisle when we choose Coke or Pepsi. It comes from the actions of 300 million people who live in this country, and not necessarily the person who inhabits the mansion at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue for a few years. So, should you invest in the market now? It depends on many things: your goals, your time horizon, your age, your risk tolerance. Only you can decide if you're ready to invest, but don't let present-day election hype keep you from looking towards your financial future. If you'd like some help with that, please give me a call at 480-503-0050. Wondering if you can increase your portfolio by successfully timing the market? Click here.
This has been a Loki production.